From cold-blooded threats to downright humiliations, these are the most savage insults in The Walking Dead, including Negan's cruel lineup taunts and Carol's chilling warning to a child. Number 10. You work for me now. Negan to Rick. Rick has just been completely broken during Negan's lineup, physically and mentally. Negan doesn't yell this, he owns it. After everything Rick's been through, this one line flips the entire power dynamic. Rick, the guy who led a group through hell, is now reduced to someone taking orders. What makes it hit is the humiliation. This isn't just about survival anymore. It's about dominance. Negan doesn't just want control. He wants Rick to feel powerless. Fans remember this as the moment Rick stopped being the unstoppable leader.
The whole thing! Not one bit of that shit flies here.
For a while, he's just surviving. It's lower on the list because it's more psychological than explosive, but that quiet destruction is what makes it savage. And if you think that's brutal, the next one gets way more personal. Number 9. You're the one who's gonna kill us. Daryl to Carol. This moment comes during one of the group's most fragile stretches, when trust is already hanging by a thread. Carol has been making increasingly ruthless decisions, and Daryl, one of the few people who truly understands her, finally snaps. The line lands hard because it's not shouted, it's disappointed. Daryl looks at Carol, someone he's bonded with deeply, and basically says, "Your choices aren't saving us. They're destroying us." What makes this insult savage is the emotional weight behind it. Daryl isn't trying to hurt her. He's saying what no one else will, and that honesty cuts deeper than any insult thrown in anger. Fans were split on this. Some agreed Carol had gone too far. Others saw Daryl's words as unfair. But that tension is exactly why the scene works. It forces you to pick a side. It ranks here because it's not flashy or cruel in the traditional sense. But emotionally, it hits like a punch to the gut. And somehow, the next insult is even more direct and way less forgiving. Number 8. You're a damn coward. Abraham to Eugene. At this point, Eugene's lie about being a scientist has finally come crashing down.
I don't know how to stop it. I'm not a scientist.
And Abraham, who built his entire purpose around protecting him, feels completely betrayed. There's no build-up here. Abraham just unloads. Calling Eugene a coward isn't clever or layered. It's raw, blunt truth. And that's exactly why it stings so much. The scene itself is explosive. Eugene tries to justify himself, but Abraham shuts it down instantly. You can see the shift in Abraham's face. This isn't just anger, it's the collapse of everything he believed in. What makes this insult savage is how deserved it feels. Fans weren't shocked by the words. They were shocked it took this long.
To survive. If I could cheat some people into taking me there, Will.
Eugene had been hiding behind lies, and Abraham finally rips that mask off in the harshest way possible. It ranks here because it's pure honesty, no theatrics. But compared to what's coming next, this is just the beginning of the psychological warfare. And if you thought that was brutal, the next one goes straight for the heart of a leader. Number 7. You can't protect them. Shane to Rick. This is peak tension between Shane Walsh and Rick Grimes, two leaders heading toward an inevitable collision. The setup is simple. Shane is done pretending Rick's way works. But the delivery? That's where it cuts deep. Shane doesn't just insult Rick, he attacks his identity.
Got at you, Rick. He ran with men who tried to kill you. You're gonna bring him back to where Lori sleeps?
Rick's entire purpose is protecting his people, his family, his son. And Shane goes straight for that pressure point, basically saying, "You're failing them." The scene is loaded with tension. No walkers, no chaos. Just two men who used to be brothers tearing each other apart. And the worst part? There's a piece of truth in what Shane says. That's what makes it savage. It's not just cruel, it's uncomfortably real. Fans still debate this moment because Shane isn't entirely wrong, and that blurs the line between insult and reality. It ranks here because of how personal it gets. But compared to what's coming next, this is where things start to turn cold, calculated, and far more dangerous. Number 6, you're already dead, Michonne to the governor. This showdown between Michonne and the governor is less about words and more about inevitability. By this point, the governor has crossed every line possible, and Michonne knows exactly what he is. When she says, "You're already dead," it doesn't feel like an insult. It feels like a verdict. Calm, controlled, and completely fearless. She's not reacting to him. She's judging him. The scene itself is tense and quiet, which makes the line even more chilling. There's no shouting, no chaos, just absolute certainty. Michonne strips away all of the governor's power in one sentence. Fans loved this moment because it flipped the dynamic. The governor thrives on intimidation, but here, he's the one being looked down on. It ranks here because of how cold and composed it is. But now we're entering the top half, where the insults stop being controlled and start getting straight up vicious. If some of the moments you were expecting haven't shown up yet, don't worry, because the top half of this list is where things get even more intense. And if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, make sure you're subscribed, because the next ones change everything. Number 5. Starving you. Negan to Olivia. This moment comes when Negan is asserting control over Alexandria, casually inspecting supplies like he owns the place. Because, in his mind, he does.
You ever hear the one about the stupid little prick named Rick who thought he knew shit but didn't know shit?
Olivia tries to push back, saying they're starving, and Negan just destroys her with that line.
I mean, yes. The inventory's correct.
Good.
The delivery is smug, mocking, and deliberately cruel. He doesn't just dismiss her, he humiliates her in front of everyone.
But at the end of the day, Olivia, my dear, this was your responsibility.
We can work this out.
It's not about food anymore. It's about power. Negan uses insults like weapons, and here he makes it clear, resistance equals embarrassment. This one sparked a lot of fan backlash because of how personal and mean-spirited it felt. It crossed from villain charisma into straight-up cruelty, and that's exactly why it sticks. It ranks here because it's brutally savage, but still not as psychologically devastating as what's coming next. And trust me, from here on out, these insults don't just hurt, they break people. Number 4, you don't get to be upset. Carol to Pete. This confrontation happens in Alexandria, when Carol Pelletier drops the harmless act and shows who she really is.
Well, I'm hoping the paprika will mask the soups.
Pete is spiraling, trying to justify his behavior, and for once, someone shuts him down completely. Carol doesn't yell. She doesn't argue. She controls the entire moment. When she says, "You don't get to be upset," it's a complete dismantling of Pete as a person. She strips away his excuses, his self-pity, everything. It's not just an insult, it's a power move. What makes it savage is how calculated it is. Carol knows exactly what she's doing. She's not reacting emotionally. She's deciding his place in that world. And Pete? He has nothing to say back. Fans loved this scene because it marked Carol's full transformation. This isn't the same person from season 1. This is someone who understands the rules now. It ranks here because of that control, but now we're entering the top 3. And these moments didn't just insult people, they changed everything. Number 3, they're screwing with the wrong people. Rick to the Claimers. This is the moment where Rick Grimes stops negotiating and becomes something else entirely. The Claimers think they've got control. They're bigger, louder, more aggressive. Rick is outnumbered, pinned down, and for a second, it looks like it's over. Then, he says it. Calm. Almost quiet.
They're fucking with the wrong people.
They're screwing with the wrong people. It doesn't sound like an insult. It sounds like a warning. And what happens next proves it wasn't talk. What makes this line savage is the follow-through. Rick doesn't just say it, he backs it up in one of the most brutal, shocking sequences in the entire series. Fans still talk about this because it's the moment Rick fully embraces how far he's willing to go. It ranks here because it's iconic, but the top two? They don't just warn or expose, they break people in real time. Number 2. Look at that. Taking it like a champ. Negan to Glenn. This is the lineup. The moment fans of The Walking Dead still argue about, still rewatch, and still dread. Negan has already established control, but it's what he says after that makes this unbearable.
Suck my nuts!
Look at that! Taking it like a champ! The scene is chaotic, emotional, and horrifying. But Negan stays completely composed. He mocks someone in their final moments, turning unimaginable pain into a twisted performance. What makes this insult truly savage is the timing. It's not just cruelty, it's theatrical cruelty. Negan wants everyone watching to feel powerless, to remember this moment forever. And it worked. Fans were shocked, angry, some even stopped watching after this episode. This isn't just an insult, it's psychological domination at its absolute worst. It ranks at number 2 because of how disturbing it is. But somehow, unbelievably, number 1 is even darker and way more personal. Number 1, monsters are real, and they're gonna get you. Carol to Sam. This is easily one of the most unsettling moments in the entire series. Carol Pelletier isn't facing an enemy here. She's talking to a child. Sam is already terrified of the outside world, barely holding it together. And Carol? She leans into that fear. Hard. Monsters are real! And they're gonna get you!
You'll be outside the walls. Far, far away.
There's no sarcasm, no exaggeration. She's dead serious, and that's what makes it chilling. The scene itself is quiet, almost casual, but the impact is massive. Carol intentionally traumatizes him to keep him silent, to keep the group safe. It's a calculated move, but it comes at a cost. Fans still debate this moment because it crosses a line. This isn't survival anymore. This is psychological damage. And the worst part? It works. This is one of the most unforgettable moments in the entire series because it shows just how far people have changed. It takes number 1 because it's not just savage. It's deeply uncomfortable, personal, and morally complex in a way that sticks with you long after the scene ends. These were the most savage insults in The Walking Dead. Which one stood out to you the most? Did we miss any brutal line? Comment it below. We might include it in the next video. Make sure to subscribe for more Walking Dead content like this. Click here. Top 10 Easter eggs in The Walking Dead you completely missed to watch our last video. It's just as intense.